Okay, what is up, everyone? Tonight we're not really going to do too much with alts, but I'm going to do a lot of Q&A. So usually I take questions at the end, but I'm going to be taking questions throughout this whole thing. Um, I just think it's better that way. A lot of people have been asking me a lot of the same questions, and so if they have them in here, I have no problem answering them. A lot of the questions are obviously about some of my views. You guys know that I have some pretty strong opinions and no problem sharing them. Volume quiet. Let me turn that up. Is the volume better? I sound raspy. Huh. I wonder why the volume's bad. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Stream audio. That's it. Is the audio any better now? Volume's good now? Better? Okay. I fixed it for you, Cred. I got you. Staticky. It shouldn't be staticky. It should be pretty clean now. I think it was on my webcam audio instead of this headset, so I was wearing this headset for no reason. Okay, cool. So, what I'm looking at right now on Bitcoin, I still think it's pretty bullish. We all know that we got rejected, and I'm using a linear chart, not a log chart. Let's hide the still staticky. I don't know why it's staticky. The volume should be good. I haven't changed anything since last time. Anyways, obviously everyone's saying the same thing. Inverse head and shoulders. We got rejected right here from breaking 11.6 and breaking out. Still a lot of things on the volume. Hold on, let me try unplugging and plugging it back in. That seems to always fix things. All right, how about now? Any luck? Any luck at all? Volume works. Getting a lot of mixed reviews with this volume. Volume trash, just staticky. Worse. I gotta figure this out. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it's doing this. Because the last few videos, the audio's been pretty good when I switched over to this headset. Perfect, fix. Okay, so, the classic trick where you unplug it and plug it back in again, that honestly seems to work great. Bullish on the mic. I'm glad you're bullish on the mic, Chase. Perfect. What's up, Nathan? Good to see you in here. Live stream is just as crowded as Superman. Superman, I don't even know what's going on with that guy. It's funny because that was the first class I bought. I bought Superman's class for $10. Learned absolutely nothing, but I was in his little masterminds group. I started posting all my stuff in there and trying to boost my followers. This was back in like May. Okay, there we go. We are back on. Gonna point out the obvious things just so we get everything done. We have an inverse head and shoulders, really bullish pattern. I'm sure you guys see this like 20 times per day. I'm a little worried that we didn't break through right here. The main reason, in my opinion, we didn't break through right here is we just didn't have the volume. Like, if we were going to see it break through right here, I'd be expecting volume like on these candles, where, we're breaking a resistance, you need a lot of volume. So a little worrisome that we didn't have the volume to break through the inverse head and shoulders, but there is a few lines that I'm comfortable looking at. First of all, I have this trend line that we've been following. We've bounced off it a couple times. I do think that it's definitely possible we could retest this. Stock looks pretty cooled off if you're going to use indicators. And if we look at the clouds, we actually just bounced right on top of the Kumo right here. So I'm thinking short term, we're probably going to go back up and retest this 11.6 area. I don't know if we're going to test the bottom of the cloud and the trend line first, but I definitely see in the next day or two that we are going to be retesting 11.6. And if we have the volume, we'll break through it. So a reason again why I'm pretty much on the sidelines of the market aside from Bitcoin is because this is like an 11% range right here. And if Bitcoin's going to be doing plus or minus 11% in the next day or two, in my opinion, the rest of the market's obviously going to react poorly. So again, I know I keep saying the same thing, and that's why I want to do mostly Q&A tonight. But on the sidelines, I definitely see Bitcoin retesting this um, right up here, probably in the next 24 hours, maybe the next 48 hours. If we have some pretty good volume on it, then I think we're going to break through. Another thing I'm looking for is a crossover of the 13 and the 48 EMA. Oh, wait, never mind. Sorry, I'm using a new EMA tool after I saw Cred stream earlier, the 3 EMA, and my colors got flipped around. So we had the crossover back here. We're still good on the EMAs. I thought you were going to pick the wave tool instead of the head and shoulders tool. Feels bad, man. I actually don't know how to use these Elliott waves. Like, what do? You go like, well, let me delete the head and shoulders. So I guess the biggest joke of crypto is Elliott waves. And one night I was pretty drunk and I tweeted out that I was going to read this 100-page thing on Elliott waves. And ever since then, it's just been the laughing stock. Some traders use Elliott waves. I don't really use them. I can definitely see how impulses might work, but for the most part, I use EMAs, Ichimoku, and some basic trend lines. Will there be analysis for alts as well? Yeah, I'll talk about some alts. Like I said, I don't really have too many new ones I want to talk about. One thing that I did do though, yesterday was the A-Chain lockup program. I just put this in my group. If you're in the Gem Club, I posted about it, but essentially A-Chain is doing like a loyalty program, essentially a lockup, and they're allowing you to, in a sense, stake your tokens by just keeping them in the wallet. Um, if you want more information about the lockup program, again, I posted in the Gem Club, but I'll talk about A-Chain a little bit because it's really interesting, and I think that people don't really um, know about it. It's specifically out of China right now, so there's not much talk of it in the Western world. But I think that's going to change soon. They're going to have a marketing campaign going on that is going to be focused on, I guess, the Western community, whatever you want to call the United States and in Europe. But so what A-Chain is, it's a smart contract platform with really high throughput, some of the highest throughput in crypto, some insane speeds they've been testing. And what they did is they made a really easy way for you to fork their blockchain. And obviously, forks are pretty controversial right now. People love forks. But so A-Chain's essentially just offering a way for you to, avoid the ICO phase and get your coins done instantly. Their platform can scale very easily, and then as a bonus of holding the A-Chain token, you get all of the tokens that fork from it. So it's pretty cool. I've been talking to their team a little bit. Yeah, ABTC was the first fork. I would say as of now it was a failure, but it was a success because it showed that they can really easily fork things and their blockchain can handle it. So when you actually create a fork on A-Chain, you have to pay a percentage of your tokens to the platform. And it's not A-Chain that's keeping this percentage of tokens. That percentage of tokens is actually being airdropped to everyone. So that's how it works. Long story short, I'm definitely going to be talking about A-Chain more recently. It's one of the few coins that I'm holding right now. The coins that I'm still holding, it's just because I would feel dumb selling them at this current price. Like, I mean, if you go to KuCoin, everything's just wrecked. Hi, Sally. Good to see you in here. 1,000 transactions per second for A-Chain. Yeah, they can actually go much higher than that, like significantly higher than that. So A-Chain is definitely on the lookout. Again, they use delegated proof of stake, which is something I'm really bullish on. Legolas Exchange. Yeah, they actually did talk about a bonus today. I talk about exchange coins all the time, and I actually haven't talked about them recently, so maybe this is a good time to talk about some exchange coins. So with what I see going on, centralized exchanges are going to have a huge boost this year. And when I say a huge boost, I mean the volume on them is going to increase substantially, especially ones that offer institutional accounts, because institutional traders and these funds aren't going to want to trade on decentralized exchanges. They're going to want to have an institutional account on a centralized exchange, where they have customer service, they have at least some third party to trust. They're not in it for the technology, they're in it to make money. And they're not going to make money through decentralized exchanges. There's not the liquidity, and they don't need it. Kind of makes me laugh over there. But anyway, so Legolas, Globotex, cash is going to be really important. And there's one other one that I haven't talked about yet that I'll talk about soon. But essentially the way that crypto's going, it is just going to, A-chain symbol is ACT, rude boy. Decentralized exchanges, the concept's really cool. The technology's almost there. IDEX has been working pretty well. I like IDEX a lot, but it's just going to take a lot of time until there is any sort of liquidity there, and this money's coming in pretty quickly. So right now, centralized exchanges, I don't really see them taking off. Centralized exchanges, again, definitely see it taking off. Bbox also. I don't know anything about Bbox just because you go there and it's like not in English. Oh, it is in English now. I've never used Bbox. I don't really think that it's going to be a top pick. I think it's going to be like a KuCoin. As you can see, when the market dies, or at least the market's slow, coins on low volume exchanges die. I'm almost at the point where I'm going to start accumulating some of these bottomed out coins on KuCoin, but again, they're not bottomed out because they just keep falling. And the thing I've noticed about the market is people who start accumulating too early. Like, I haven't seen the depression phase yet for alts. People are still like bullish on them. And it's not until people are, just wiped out, selling for huge losses and really sad about alts that I'm going to start picking them up again. Because I know that these alts have to go through an accumulation phase before they're going to take off again. I don't think a lot of them are going to be continuing their trends. Most of them are now in falling trends as well, and I think that they're going to keep falling. For AK7, I feel stupid selling my Aeon, Hat, Lux. Exactly, like coins that are at really, really strong support. They might not fall any further. And I don't think that a coin like Aeon is going to fall any further. If we pull up Aeon, I think we can pull it up on here. And again, ton of updates coming out at the end of the year. Like I said, it's one of my best picks for the year. Just accumulate it. There's no rush to get in. But if you look, it's never broke this support. I wanted to use a box. It's never broke this support, and I don't think it will. The thing that makes me worry, though, is there's so many coins that look like this, and people just keep accumulating them. So it would be best if, it continues to trade sideways. This is an accumulation zone, essentially. Like, if it keeps on trading in this zone for another month or two, then there's no doubt it will explode. And, when it explodes, you can get a nice 3-4x out of it, no problem. So coins that look like Aeon right now, I would start accumulating if I was going to get back into the altcoin market, but I'm not quite there yet because, if they break the support, they're going to go into a free fall, but you'll be able to notice it and you can get out, and then it bottoms out again, goes back into accumulation zone, you pick it up again. So half the coins look like this, the other half of them look like Neo. And I mean, if you guys follow me, you guys know that I really have no problem sharing my opinions, whether they're positive or negative. All my opinions are made on my own. I don't let other people influence me. Neo's chart looks absolutely horrible. Like, I don't know a worse looking chart except maybe XLM, which is really just a chart of Neo. That's a little further off. Like, this is exactly what's going to happen to Neo. You have this one support here, and look, you break it, free fall. Where are you going to fall? Another 50, 60%. You go to Neo, the chart looks exactly like this, and there's so many other coins that look like this. Had this one support right here, it broke it, got to go back up, retest it as resistance, fall. Where is it going to fall? Maybe here. These charts aren't looking pretty, and there's so many of them. Like I said, the ones that support, you can start accumulating them if you want. The problem is, from my perspective, and this is just my opinion, a lot of people don't agree with me on this, these coins are going to keep falling. If these coins keep falling, that means that the altcoin market is in a bear trend. If it's in a bear trend for long enough, most of these coins are going to break their support, and they're going to start free falling. So, you might see a coin like Aeon break that support, and when it breaks that support, where's it going to go? There's no bottom. Every single stop loss is going to trigger. People are going to panic. And so I still think we have that whole phase to go through, which let's look at this. So from the last time Neo did it until the next market cycle was about 100 days. And so if we go 100 days from now, where Neo, in my opinion, is going to die, that would put us right in June for our next altcoin bull phase. I know some of you guys don't want to hear that, but so that means probably in May I'm going to start accumulating again. When I go through these charts, like I said, it just was really worrisome. I don't necessarily trade on TA, but I still do like to back my FA with TA, and again, I just don't like the looks of it right now. So, hypothetical situation, we can play this out two ways. If, in my opinion, the next altcoin bull season is between May and June, what's going to happen with Bitcoin? If we break this resistance right here, which we're trying really hard, and like I said, I think we're going to retest in the next 24 to 48 hours at 11.6, or, we bounce off that trend line I drew earlier, which would be right around 10,000, 10,200. Then we bounce back up to 11.6, and we test it. So we break it. I think that we're definitely going to go back. If we break that and we go to 12K, break through 12K, I think we'll go to 13K pretty quick. Probably drop back, test 12K as support. And then I see the next move to like the 17K area. That's when it's going to get interesting. If obviously there's a bunch of ups and downs in between this, but this line, in my opinion, looks like something that Bitcoin could do. If throw in some pumps and dumps in the middle of it, that would bring us to May. We could have a nice correction back to 13K and trade sideways for a little bit while alts run. We could have a nice 1 to 2 month alt bull market, and then Bitcoin takes off again, retest 20K. This is all really theoretical, but this is kind of what's going on in my head. Let me know what you guys think. I haven't really shared this part yet with anyone, where I really don't see alts going again until May. But which wave would that be, sir? Well, for cred, this is wave. Where's the thing? This is what I see some charts looking like. Is there no brush on this? This is literally what some people send me charts that look like. 1, 2, 3, X, Z, M, X, 5. Like literally people send me charts that look like this and want me to, they want my opinion on the TA. I'm like, I don't really know what you want me to say to that chart, buddy. Anyways, so is it safe to wait until Bitcoin peaks out if that happens to move into alts, or better to move in before? That 100% depends on your strategy. If this was 6 months ago and this was going on, I would definitely be taking a much more aggressive approach because I was trying really hard to grow my portfolio. I didn't have a lot of money in the market, and I wanted to really increase my portfolio. The money that I put in, I was willing to lose, and I knew that I was taking a really big risk in a situation like this. Now, I obviously want to protect my portfolio after being through these market cycles, and so I'm mostly on the sidelines for now until this plays out. And the other situation, which I'll get into right now, would be that Bitcoin goes back down and like retests 6K, bounces, probably goes to 3K, and this would be, and I can make this align with May, because I think at 6K it would probably trade sideways for a while. I say 3K sometimes. I don't really see it happening unless it was like a really slow, gradual decline. If we dump back to 6K, I think that there would be a ton of action there where, we would test this level multiple times. So either way, I still just don't see any room for alts in the short term because Bitcoin has the center of the stage. Bitcoin has a lot of volatility. We just got to wait it out. So crypto is considered property by the IRS, money by the Treasury, commodities by the CFTC, and securities by the SEC. How could U.S. regulation impact that trajectory? Any word on regulation? So the only thing I'm worried about right now is regulation with ICOs. They're definitely going to start breaking down on ICOs, and the problem is we just don't really know what they're going to do. So, the first case scenario is they start actually going after these ICOs. We're going to see panic dump of any ICO that's recently taken place, whether or not it was a part or it was serving investors in the U.S. I don't think it matters if they're accredited really, because ICOs are really, what they're going after. So that first situation plays out. I again would see an altcoin market dump. I would probably see Ethereum dump. I think that would be really bearish for Ethereum, and I don't like the way Ethereum looks right now. As you guys know, Ethereum's usually the signal for an alt market, and Ethereum looks horrible. So that usually means that alts are going to continue to go down. Maybe around May, we see Ethereum next bull phase. You also see that like the ICO trend kind of died down. I don't know if it's because of regulation or if it's just cyclical. We saw this happen in November, October, kind of when Dragon Chain happened, and there was all this hype about ICOs and there was no hype, and a bunch of them went under the radar. So, and we're seeing that right now. They're getting listed on IDEX, these ones that kind of went under the radar, like credits. Credits had really good performance on IDEX. It did like a 4x since it was listed. Pretty mad that I didn't buy any because I saw it at 0.003 Ethereum, and I was like, this is definitely a buy. Never got around to it. Can you give me a rundown on securities tokens? I'm not sure Drift RX exactly what you. Or that's not DriftRx. Michael Anthony, I'm not sure exactly what you want me to talk about on security tokens, so just expand on that. Floodright, wow, so either Bitcoin goes up or it goes down. Thanks. Well, you don't have to be such an asshole. I told you exactly what I think is going to happen. I said in the next 24 to 48 hours, we're probably going to retest 11.6. I'm not psychic. If there's a bunch of volume, we're going to break through it. If there's not volume, we're not going to break through it. It's pretty fucking simple, dude. I feel the market sentiment is all about getting a dopamine high. Partnerships and real use case isn't moving solid coins. I feel like people today think any coin get 20x, and that's it. Well, you guys know that I'm getting pretty heated about these coins that are extremely overvalued and too speculative. Another reason why I'm mostly out of alts right now, I think the valuations are horrible. I can't justify almost any of them, even at like ridiculous valuation, and ICOs just continue to ask for more and more money, and I think that's really bearish. I really don't think that's a good idea. Can I chart Ethereum? Yeah, I can chart Ethereum. Ethereum USD. So I've been saying that I've been saying since about here that I don't, no, that's not true. I think I started saying I don't like Ethereum around here when it was at 900. I said that I think that the chart looks a lot like Bitcoin's chart before it just did this nasty drop. Ethereum did this nasty drop. I still don't like the look of it. We just went under the Kumo. We are below the 48 EMA. We're pretty close to, there's a lot of resistance above us now that was support below us. And we have the death cross on the 1348 EMA. This just looks like the Bitcoin chart before it fell a lot. I definitely see us going back to, retest this 700 to 600 area, and it could get much worse. I think Ethereum will maybe even go back to the 500 range, and then again start another cycle in this May to June range when I think alts will go back to normal. There's a few people saying that the sound's bad again. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but hi sir, ZCL, goodbye. It's oversold now like RSI. Well, cred. Oh my god, don't get me started with this. I got so mad earlier just because people were literally buying ZCL today because of Bitcoin Private's fake price on 10 Bitcoin volume. Like, this is the dumbest thing that I've ever seen in my life. This coin has no developers, and people buy it. It went up like 50% today. This is the kind of stuff that just makes me feel like I'm in the biggest bubble, and I should sell all my Bitcoin right now because the market IQ is about 5. It's Echo? I can't really do anything about Echo. I'm not sure what's going on. it can't be that bad because, I was in a much worse room using a much worse mic for a while. So sorry that I sound a little robotic. All right, I'll do like 2 or 3 more minutes of questions, then I'm about to hop off. Like I said, nothing new. This was going to mostly be Q&A. I have two mics going. Oh, that actually might be it. I wonder. Audio input capture. I don't need this. So what if I take that off? How about now? Does that fix the mic problem? I figured it. Yeah, so you guys were right. I had my camera's mic was on as well. Where were you guys at the start of this video trying to tell me that to turn my second mic's volume off? Why? Now that this volume's better, wow, it's the most comments I've ever seen. All right, so I'll go for like 5 more minutes now that my volume's good and people aren't as angry. I'm excited that I got that fixed. What's the difference between a dead cat bounce and a bull trap? That is a good question. Okay, so ZCL bouncing right here, this is a dead cat bounce. A dead cat bounce is when something's just so oversold to the point where just everyone sold it. There's nothing left in the books as far as asks go because everyone's just dumping on the bids. Um, and so eventually there gets to a point where you can move the price a lot with just a little bit of Bitcoin, and people take this to their advantage and they start buying it. Different signals go off for bots based on volume, and it brings some attention to it. If a dead coin, like when ZCL bounces right here 50%, all the noob traders go, oh my god, why is ZCL bouncing? Like, there has to be a reason it's bouncing. Should I buy some? And then people start FOMO buying it. That's a dead cat bounce. A bull trap, a good example of it is what can happen with Bitcoin. Sorry about all this junk that I drew. So a bull trap would be on Bitcoin if we broke this resistance. And then, once we break this resistance, a lot of orders are going to start to go through because people are going to think we're in a bull trend. The uptrend's about to start. Get in now before we go back to 17K. So if we broke this resistance and then it dumped right after that, after people bought a bunch right here in this 12,000 area, that would be a bull trap because, all the bulls come back. We just broke this resistance. Everyone's excited, but it was a fake out. Hey, Bitcoin Bella, good to see you in here. You made it just in time for my mic audio to be fixed. China just banned mining Bitcoin. China bans everything. I don't see that as a problem. Like, China FUD's way over. The next FUD is going to be SEC FUD, I think, honestly. There's going to be a bunch of SEC FUD because they are scared of Bitcoin. There's just no other way to put it. They are really scared of cryptocurrencies. What you think go WTC and the Alibaba partnership seems overvalued considering VeChain is under $5. I can't tell if this is a joke or not. I'm going to take it as not a joke, but you don't look at the price in USD, you need to look at the market cap. The market cap of VeChain is 2.25 billion. There are more tokens than Walton Chain. That's why it's a lower price, but it actually has a higher market cap than Walton Chain. VeChain is worth more than Walton Chain. Walton Chain is valued at 600 million. VeChain is valued at 2.25 billion. So VeChain is actually 4 times more expensive than Walton Chain. I don't know if you were just trolling me or not, but I did answer that question seriously. All right, let's relax a little bit for Cred's question. Any fun plans for the rest of the week? Thursday night, I'm hosting an event, Chicago Cryptocurrency Club. It's going to be bi-weekly meetups, and I'm going to be bringing in different people through the industry, whether they're a trader, CEO, investor. Just prominent people from the industry are going to come there and speak on a panel. This Thursday is going to be the first meeting. We got Korean Jew coming in. I'm going to be there. Bitcoin Bravado is going to be there, of course. And then Michael Castro is coming in as well. So, it's going to be a really good time. I'm really excited for that, and then I'm going to be doing that every other Thursday. At midnight on Thursday, it's also my birthday, so it should be a really good weekend. When is Whiskey Wednesday with Venture Coinist? I'm going to do a stream with Venture Coinist on St. Patty's Day. That weekend, he's coming to Chicago. Tomorrow for Whiskey Wednesday, it will be me, Bitcoin Birch, and Korean Jew. Cred, I'll bring you to Chicago for one of these. You just tell me when you want to come. The summertime is the best, so probably then. And I think I'm going to be hosting a full conference this summer, 2 or 3 days. It's not going to be like your typical conference. It's going to be way more of experience, a lot more fun. Have I checked out Market Protocol? Did someone really just write a Bitcoin private prediction in the comments? Do you want my Bitcoin private prediction? I'll look into market protocol, decentralized derivatives. These things can't really pop up unless the SEC is okayed with it. So, something like this would just really depend on regulation. A little bit more on the Chicago conference. I see a few things. Gatapalooza, Lollapalooza. I will be at Lollapalooza, but the conference is going to be the first one that focuses more just on the technology. It's going to have a whole section of it focused on trading. There's going to be a section focused on security. There's going to be live music. It's going to be a lot more than just a conference. It's going to be an experience because I've been to these conferences and they're like going to lectures. It's really cool to learn about the technology, but 3 days of lectures kind of gets old. So it's going to be a unique conference, and there's going to be more on that soon. It's still really early in the works. Decentralized derivatives, though, who would SEC crack down on? Anyone using the platform. You can't just decentralize something and act like the SEC is going to be okay with it. Just because it's decentralized doesn't mean it's legal. Decentralizing something just means that there's no point of attack. It doesn't mean that you can get around any sort of regulation. Sounds like FOTA. See, I'm behind on alts right now. I have a lot of catching up to do on alts, but this month I'm just extremely busy. I'm going to be out of town for like 2.5 weeks. So for me, it is not going to be too much alts this month. Again, I don't think I'm going to miss any sort of run. I don't really think that I'm going to miss an accumulation phase. Where did my chart go? Man, I'm tired. Bye, Sally. Have a good night. So like I said, a lot of Bitcoin volatility coming up. I just don't really see alts runs. There's going to definitely be some alts bounces, especially if Bitcoin drops a lot. We could definitely see an alt bounce. Brian, will there be girls at this conference you're putting on? If girls are interested in the technology and want to come to it, then yes, there'll be girls. Okay, I'm gonna do one more question. So if you have a question, throw it in the comments. Once I see a good one, I'll finish up on that. Am I planning to visit Switzerland? I don't know if I'm planning to visit Switzerland. I'm going to be um, traveling a lot more. I haven't really seen much of the world, so hopefully I'll get to see Switzerland. When Boston? I'll probably be in Boston in May. What likelihood would you put for each of these two scenarios? I would put 70% on Bitcoin being bullish and a 30% on Bitcoin being bearish. Do you think alts are overvalued in the billions, like for real use case in the future? I mean, if there was a lot of adoption, I don't think that some of the prices are ridiculous, but for the speculation and the lack of development, a lot of these alts are overvalued. Basically, I could write a white paper on the quality of some of these ICOs coming out. I could try and raise $10 million off an idea, and I just don't like that. Index fund on Coinbase, definitely bullish. There's going to be a lot of people just throwing money at it for no reason. And then, of course, there's going to be a lot of institutional investors that are a lot more comfortable buying an index rather than just buying a percent allocation in each coin. And also, like, they're not going to know what percent to allocate to each coin, and the index does it for them. So it will get rid of a lot of uncertainty, and I think the index fund is very bullish. All right, guys, I'm going to end there. Sorry for the audio quality at the start of the stream, and, sorry that I don't have any new alts. It's just this is the season to be relaxing and waiting for things to happen. It's not the season to be taking risks. I will be getting back to research probably at the end of the month, but until then, There's just going to be a lot of me updating what I see on the market. If these streams kind of bore you, then let me know what I can do to bring some excitement to the streams. Hopefully, we won't have any more audio issues. Thanks for the happy early birthday wish, Tyler. And Amirali, if I'm ever in Switzerland, I will definitely let you know. Would love to see the country. Professor Crypto, good to see you in here. When Tequila Tuesdays? Next Tuesday, I will do a Tequila Tuesday from Cancun. I will do it on Instagram probably though, because people don't need to see that on YouTube. I don't want that being recorded and posted after. All right, thanks everyone.